Well, the city has been looking at greening our fleet for some time. The opportunity came up for an EV sweeper, and we did some research and found out that it's working very well in Europe, and so we were excited to try it out here. We had a few test demonstrations and felt like it could really meet our needs. We used the sweeper between March and October, try to get to every city street at least twice a month. So the sweeper is out pretty much almost every day during that time period. In addition to the sweeping of the streets during those periods of time, we also use it in the winter after a snowstorm, if the temperatures are above freezing, to clean the sand and salt off the street that we've used to treat ice or snow. So it has some uses in that area as well. It also has a hose on top, which helps us do some cleanup with our stormwater. If we have a clogged pipe or a clogged inlet, we can use that hose to vacuum out any debris that might be in there. So it's an all-purpose piece of equipment. It'll get a lot of use, and it's a real benefit to not have to use diesel, which is what our former one was powered with. This is an EV. We can plug it in at night, and we're ready to go the day. It goes 250 miles on a charge, so we can get through a day's work, typically on one charge. And it's much lower maintenance needs because it doesn't have the diesel engine, which is quite dirty and requires a lot of maintenance. It's also very easy to operate. It's a little smaller wheelbase than our former sweeper, so it gets in and out of corners and curves and can work well on our narrow streets. So we're really looking forward to having this in operation full time and having it work well for the city.
The first RAVO vehicles were built in Europe, where the units are built. They built a little over 100 units. After they built those 100 units, then they let the people in the United States start selling them. So our dealers around the country, us being the local dealer, sold the very first RAVO, which was great. Since then, they've probably sold a little over 20 units here in the U.S., so they've been quite busy. These are built in the Netherlands, but Italy has a whole bunch of these. But anywhere where you can think in Europe, there's a RAVO sweeper. They probably have 10 times the amount of sweepers in Europe than they have in the U.S. For Europe, it's a big deal. It's wherever you've got people, they want to have sweepers to pick up the trash. So it is a big deal in Europe.
Think about what our sweeper should be named, and I'm looking forward to not hearing the sweeper outside my bedroom window and the quiet sweeping of our streets.
It is terrific. The sweeper is going to do so much, not just for Takoma Park, but for our entire county, state, and the country. Being the first to take that leap and get an EV sweeper, as we heard today, we were the first here, but there are dozens more coming down the road. And this is how we're going to actually tackle our climate crisis that we have. We need to take these leaps and actually put action behind the words. And today we showed again that Takoma Park will do that.
Driving this, is very much more comfortable about driving it. You don't have to hear all the noise inside in it. You drive smooth on the road, pick up the stuff better. These are the things. You can't pick up a certain length of wood inside, and these are the things. Otherwise than that, fair enough. Drive good, do the work good. I feel comfortable, less noise. You don't hear no noise inside. That's about it. Very good. We drive about 6 hours a day. It works whole day. We go in for lunch, you put it on charge. When you come after lunch, you go out back, and that's about it. We fill up the tank twice a day. Depends on where you're sweeping, If it's a dusty area, fill it up and you go again.
Although the cost is high comparatively for an EV compared to a diesel, we're saving money from not buying fuel, all the diesel fuel savings. So we figure we're going to reduce our fuel use by about 700 gallons a year. It's about 3% of our carbon footprint emissions, so a small reduction there. In addition, because it has so much less maintenance, the maintenance costs are expected to be significantly reduced, and operator operator use, we're expecting it to be able to function on a more routine basis. With a diesel engine, you have a lot of downtime for maintenance and repairs that you won't have on the EV model. So we're looking forward to being out on the street more. You know, and as we approach new technologies and greener technologies, sometimes the cost is higher, but we really need to move in that direction in order to reduce greenhouse gas and reduce our carbon footprint.
The EV sweeper, the initial price is more than the diesel, but as we've heard today, in the long run, this will pay itself back. The maintenance is much lower. What we're looking at in savings in fuel and other advantages to fight the climate crisis are really just, they're priceless. You know, simple things like being much quieter than the diesel is so important because that goes to, you know, livability in our community. And the fact that this is more compact and can get down the narrow streets in our community with much better ease is also a huge plus. So I'm just really excited. And the noises, you know, my house, as you know, where it's situated, our bedroom windows, we hear everything. I get to wave to the public works guys and gals all the time, and I'm going to say having the sweeper be quiet is a real advantage for me personally. So
the maintenance-wise on an electric vehicle is going to be dramatically less than a diesel or a gas vehicle. You're not going to have the fuel to maintain or buy or purchase. You're not going to have to maintain all the oil changes. And then, of course, replacement of an engine. Those are all big items. Where an electric vehicle, your maintenance is whatever you're going to wear, which are going to be your gutter brakes. And that's virtually about it. The other big savings is that there's a lot less labor for the city. So the mechanics not going to be into changing oils, fluids, maintaining engines, filters. None of that has to be done. Virtually all you're having to do is maintain your hydraulic system, 2 different types of electrical cooling, then your wear items.
What should we call this car?
I thought this